Welcome back. Well, we have Nancy and Donna here on behalf of the Crazy Quilters of Laguna Woods. Well, welcome, ladies. Nice to see you. How are you today?
Thank you. Doing
Great,
well.
thanks.
Good. Well, thans for coming in. Now, you know, we've had you guys on before, and you always have some remarkable quilts that you have made by hand, and you have a team that does it. Tell me a little bit about the club and how it all got started.
Well, in 2001, I noticed a notice in the Globe. And we met at Clubhouse 2 in a very small room. And I think there might have been 25, 30 ladies crowded in there. And we wanted to form a quilt club. And from there, we began.
That's awesome. That's great. And you said you're one of the charter members, so you've been a member since
Yes.
that time, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And how about you?
I joined when I moved here just about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had you quilted before?
Yes, I quilted for about 15 years before in
wow.
Northern California.
Okay. And what organization was it? Was it through a school, or how did
It
that
was
come
also a quilt guild, Amador
Okay.
Valley Quilters. They had been in existence when I joined for probably 35 years and had about 150 members. Very
Okay.
active in the community, and
Okay.
yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, it's great, and you know, it's a unique thing. I mean, there's sewing involved. There's a variety of other things that are involved. So, tell me why someone would get into quilting.
Well, good question. To make a quilt, I think. Many of the people who come to the quilt room want to make a quilt for a friend or a family member.
Okay.
And often they start with the smaller quilts, baby quilts. So usually it starts with something personal that they want to do.
Is that and so when you think about quilting, primarily it is a personal thing more than, because I mean there's sewing and there's a variety of other things that you could do. What makes the quilting so special?
Well, I guess part of it is the artistic expression, but the fact that it is useful and that it can become an heirloom and become a memory that someone cherishes and takes with them.
Right.
So it's a good way to, I think, to give of yourself to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And so you guys are obviously creating quilts for a variety of different organizations. I know you've been here before talking about other times, but this time it's something very special. Tell me about it.
Well, actually, Nancy suggested this project.
Well, several years ago, we made quilts for our local fire station. And I thought maybe it was time we did it again, as the personnel had changed. So we thought, well, that's 39 quilts. That's 3 shifts of men. So it just caught fire, and many of the
No pun intended.
ladies, no pun intended, that we would make these quilts, and they have been completed enough now. And it's been quite an exciting journey getting this done.
Right.
And these will specifically go to the Laguna Woods Station 22, which is just right in
Yes.
our backyard here.
For-
And you said that 39 quilts, so 39 of them, so it goes on each one of their beds, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
there are 3 shifts of men, I understand, and so there is a quilt for each man.
Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. And look, we're showing some of the quilts that are behind you now. And, you know, how long does one of these quilts take?
Depends on who's the quilter. Some people, I've bought fabric and just presented it to other quilters and said, can you think of something? And I'll come back a day or two later. And they've figured out a pattern, sewed it together, and the top is done. And then between Nancy and I, we've done most of the quilting of the, through all the layers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it could be fast, or it could, if it's me, it could take a long time.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you know, I guess it just depends on what you're trying to achieve. How large are these quilts?
They're all at least 60 inches wide, and they're all 90 inches long. One of our members' son is a firefighter, and she says, oh, we should go to the fire station and make sure we make them big enough for their beds. So they all have extra long twin beds.
Oh,
So these are bigger than most of the quilts that we usually make. So they're all big enough to definitely cover them up in their beds, and we got to see their little rooms, which were pretty cool. So.
And they're all, like you said, themed, of course, for the fire department themselves. And
Right.
I've seen some really great things behind you. You've got some flames, and you have fire, the fire dog, and the engines. Was it difficult to find all this different kind of stuff?
No, it's actually fun and pretty easy.
Not really.
Yes, shopping's the part of quilting that I like the best.
Right, is the best,
Yeah,
is the best.
right.
And how many folks did you have working on these quilts?
Oh my gosh. We didn't count that up. I've counted up the quilts, but I didn't count up the makers.
Okay.
And it was anybody chose their own pattern, their own colors, and the only thing that we did consistently was to include the patch from the logo, which I got
sure.
permission from the chief to
Good.
have it printed onto fabric and included in
Okay.
each. So somewhere on each of the quilts, there's the logo for the fire station.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I know that you have been on before and you've talked about a variety of different things that you have sewn for. Pillowcases for CASA, City of Hope for the cancer patients there, and then also Memorial Care Hospital where you did placemats. That's great. So quilting is all different kinds of things.
Yes, it is,
Okay.
definitely.
All right.
And plus, we've used it for fundraising for other clubs.
Okay.
So right now, the library has a library-themed quilt that was made by our members, and we also have an exhibit about quilts there. So they're using it for specific fundraising goals, and then we'll share in some of those profits to help us buy the backing and batting. Most
Okay.
of the top fabric we get donated, but we still have to raise money to complete the quilts with the backing and batting.
Okay, fantastic. And then, of course, you're going to be presenting these quilts to Fire Station 22, and that's going to be on, Thursday, May 4th at 2 p.m.
Right, that'll in Clubhouse 1, and that also is International Firefighters Day.
Oh, what a great honor.
Yeah.
That is nice, and that will be right here in the village at Clubhouse 1 in the ballroom and patio, and everyone is welcome.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, let's talk about when you guys meet. When does the Quilters Club meet?
We meet the second Wednesday of the month in Clubhouse 7 at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
That's the general meeting.
That's the general meeting.
Okay.
yeah.
All right, perfect.
And the room is open. Our room is shared with the emeritus classes.
Okay.
So all the sewing and that sort of thing. So our schedule changes with the emeritus schedule. But when we are there, and it's posted in Clubhouse 4, there's always someone there who can help a person with any questions, and right from the very beginning of quilting. Anything you have a question about, a project you want to start, just come in and someone will be there to help.
Fantastic. And then let's talk about something was just approved for you. And I didn't realize how large these were.
It's big and it's expensive. So we purchased and donated a long arm quilting machine. So that's what is done after it's pieced and the 3 layers are put together. To hold them together, you quilt it. So Nancy's done dozens and dozens of quilts on a regular machine.
Okay.
But you have to kind of squish all that fabric inside the arm of a machine. This one is it's probably longer than this table.
Yeah.
And you just lay the whole quilt out and roll it on 2 rollers. And then you steer the machine over the fabric.
Oh, and that makes all the little lines.
And that makes all the little lines, yeah.
I see.
So we'll be able to do a lot more and a lot bigger quilts easier.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
a
that
lot
was
of the sewers
awesome.
are excited to expand from regular sewing to quilting too, now that they see our new equipment.
Yeah, on a domestic machine, you have to move the quilt. The long arm, the machine
Just
moves
move the upper part.
over
Oh,
the
that's
stationary
great.
quilt.
That's great. And you stand for that, I assume. Okay. Well, that is great. Well, congratulations
We're
on
excited.
getting that. And of course, you guys have a website, which is crazyquiltersguild.org. And if anyone wants more information, they can go there. So.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
It's a pleasure.
And we appreciate all of the work you do.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right. And of course, if you want more information about the Crazy Quilters Guild, you can always go to their crazyquiltersguild.org website. And we'll be right back.